Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel Anaka Design. This is going to be a quick video because basically I've done everything. Well, I guess that's not quite true. I was watching a really long, like a 2-day long auction sale, and of course trying to keep an eye on the items that I was interested in, and so on and so on. So I'm basically glued to my office chair here. And what can you do that is kind of a no-brainer? Doesn't take a great deal of concentration, but still feels like you're achieving something. So of course, I default to creating masterboards. So I will try to reconstruct this one and tell you what I did here. All of these black and white images were packaging. Well, I'm not going to get this together totally. But you can see, excuse me, that on the packaging, and this was for stamps, like clear cling stamps, that there are background colors along with the very black. So I thought, okay, someone had asked, they wanted to see how I use some of my digitals. So I had a number of these papers that were gel prints, and I think I have a couple of kits, and those would be on Etsy, I suppose, that use some of my gel prints. So I thought, and I've never done this before, okay, first of all, I chose this black paper. It is, well, I'm sure you can't see, but it's got like a linen feel to it. And I thought, most people have gel pens. Black is attractive and graphic and so on. If anyone really wanted to use them as a journaling card, they could use a white gel pen. And it would definitely pick up on the black off the imagery. So as a basis, and I wish this obviously came together here. I wish, in a sense, that I could have waited for you to cut this up, but I couldn't. No. Yes. And there were 3 little tiny scrap papers. The thing that I did differently here was that my base papers, which are the gel prints, I kind of did in a color blocking method. Never done it before, didn't know if it would work, blah, blah, blah. But I thought I couldn't really wait, excuse me, to cut this up with you guys because it would be, like, I didn't want to cut it with scissors, and I couldn't exactly cut straight through because I didn't know how things were going to go. At that point, I still had 4 loose eyes that I had to do something with. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is a piece of blue, a piece of blue, a piece of this orangey stuff, a different kind of orange, green. And I thought that, I'll lay these things out so that they fit and I get maximum yield out of them. So really, you can see that the only waste here was there and there and right here. So I thought these turned out really well. And unfortunately, the way you're looking at them, those eyes are upside down. But I thought that they really came out quite attractive. Now, I basically cut them in such a way that I could, I tried to maximize my space is what I'm saying. Now on this, you can see I've got a narrower border here than I do on this side. Will I trim that off? I don't know. These are just bases. They will probably still be, excuse me, decorated in some way. But I thought that it was worthwhile to show you that because it's another way to do a masterboard. Do it in color block fashion. So there's that. And I have more. I have more. Trust me, the sale was really long. Now, I think in a haul, now these are stickers, and I have that there for a reason. In a haul, you may have seen me show you, and I've just saved the English side of this wrapper. These were stickers, peel and stick, but they're removable and repositionable. And I thought, well, that's great. They look like so. Okay, so these were this sort of mustardy yellow ones. But, of course, I don't want them to be removable. So I did use glue stick and a bead of art glitter glue around the edge just for a good hold. Now, this, too, is on black paper. And it was done a long time ago, and I love it. Gold paint, gel printing, gold on black paper. Very dramatic looking. And I think I showed you that too the other day. So I used some of this border along the edge because I thought that worked. Now, in most cases, there were only 2 of a particular color. See, to me, this looks This looks mandala-like. This is also some gel printing paper that I used. So I used a border, little scraps of paper, tried to maximize my 2 little stickers so that I had a little more. And I wasn't about to save this little part of a circle. I just plunked it down. I'm a new woman. I'm trying to use stuff till it's all gone as opposed to save it for some imaginary project in the future. This is, okay, you can't, this was just kind of, well, I didn't think I was ever going to use it. This was just stationery paper. You know, the packages that you might get at a dollar store or Staples or a place like that. It was printed with blue and green ink. So I thought, oh, I can make this work. So I used some doilies. I used this, aqua colored sticker, gel printed paper, another digital that I had, and of course this would have to be backed to make it usable. Now, I don't know whether I've ever shown you the gel printing that I did on business card paper, so perforations. So I had done a variety of colors. Well, I guess this probably belonged to this. So there's this earth tone one, there's this turquoisey blue one. I just wanted to draw this to your attention. So obviously, gel printed the base and then did some, I guess, stamping. No, what did I do here? That's obviously the honeycomb. Oh, no. No, that would have to be a stencil. I would have stenciled that because it's not punchinello. Those are honeycomb shapes. So I thought that the 2 green stickers look pretty good on here. And I positioned them in such a way that they overlap the seam. So that means that if I were to cut these apart or tear them apart, this is going to have half of one, this is going to have a piece and a half, that's going to have 3/4 of one, and it's just, again, the start. And I plunked down these 2 tiny blue ones. Again, knowing that this all needs more work. I think Oh, this was, whoops, this was the first one I worked on. Again, same black paper. Now, I don't know where I got the paper, and I don't know why 2 of the corners were rounded. At this point, I'm not letting that bother me. I didn't bother, cutting that 1/2 inch off to make it a rectangle, like square corners. I just didn't do anything with it because I thought, let's see how it turns out. So in this case, I had 2 different colors off these decals, and I used a variety of my gel printed papers in obviously complementary colors. And I laid, because I'm thinking, okay, if I overlap all these pieces, then what did I gain by using black paper? I lose the drama, the punch of the black. So I kind of laid them out almost like stained glass, and that there's always that little bit of a border. And of course, it's not consistent. Here it's thinner, here's a little square. Again, I'm not worried because this needs more work. And I have no idea, how it's going to be cut up eventually. And that too will determine what more is needed. It feels like maybe there weren't, another medallion would have been good, but hey, it is what it is. You have only what you have, and that's the way it has to be. So there was that, and I like it because, again, it's different. It's not just the same old masterboard we've all seen and done a million times. This is that same paper I was trying to explain over here, because here you can see a lot more of it. So blue and green, and this time I just plunked the decals right on the paper again. And I dyed both sides of this, or at some long and distant point in the past. And here, again, tried to maximize, tried to cover a lot of surface, trusting the process and trusting that when it gets cut up, it will look like an even distribution of the 2 colors. And of course, it too needs more work. And of course, if these become journaling cards, this has to be backed with something that you could write on. And then the final one is this one. Another piece of black. This is all basically a couple sheets of gel printed paper. Probably parts of 2 sheets. So I thought that there were some dark enough colors in there that I could use a page of these stickers. A similar size thing to this. Thrifted them somewhere. This was obviously has a couple pieces missing. And it just felt really good to have all of it gone. Now, and again, I didn't realize this till later. I probably put this big frame sticker down too soon, and then I was piecing my stained glass all around it. Plus, this part here, see, when I started peeling this up, I thought, oh, it's all one big thing. Well, no, it's the frame, it's the oval, and then it's this plant. So it might have been, I don't know. So I had this gaping black hole here. So I just used a couple of my oval paper punches to kind of fill that space. Again, I think that some of these little borders are really effective. Some of these little scrolly bits. But again, knowing full well that it's going to need more work. So I just wanted to show that to you, because if you have a stack of gel prints like I do, or have bought somebody's digitals, mine or anyone else's, that have, these gel print type backgrounds, you can see how well they lend themselves to something like a masterboard. And, it's just probably in my nature that I'm not going to use a million colors on any one thing. I tend to keep things close to each other on the color wheel. So, but if your style is to have more colorful, more colors, on any one piece of paper or in any one session of printing, then obviously you will have a lot more options for what you can put on top of it when it comes to decorating. So all in all, I was pretty pleased with what I got done. It may not look like that much, but I did have to keep bidding over and over again. Thank you very much. So yeah, I'll have some auction items, I'm sure, to show you at some point. How long has this video been? I'm wondering if I could... You know what? Why don't I was going to do another short video, but maybe I should just tack it onto here and we'll call it one video. Another thing I did while I was watching the auction is I started to, I tried to catch up with my #CCT52 challenge, and that's the one that is run by Caroline's Craft Tree. And we're obviously well past the halfway mark of the year. I still I only managed to get 3 weeks worth done. Before I put this away, I should show you this. Someone told me, in one of my videos, I was showing you how I've been using tongue depressors to wrap ribbon, lace. Don't tell. So anyway, someone in the comments said, oh, the dollar store sells them. So today I happened to be at the dollar store. My husband, I thought I was in the city at an antique sidewalk sale. And, this urgent message, he sends a photo of a box of Band-Aids. And then I see that I missed a call, and he calls my daughter. And I'm thinking, what the heck? Was it another farm accident? Why does he need 4 boxes of Band-Aids? Oh my goodness, can I open this? I don't want to have to cut this seal off if I can help it. Anyway, just to let you know, I did go to Dollarama, found the Band-Aids. In his photo, it said 40 Band-Aids to a box. Of course, now it's only 32 Band-Aids to a box. We call that shrinkonomics. Oh, for the love of Pete. Let's see if I can compare this. Honest to goodness, they are the same, exact same dimensions, same width. I was thinking that the jumbo craft sticks would be smaller than the tongue depressors. So I don't know what I paid for this. 100 pieces for however many dollars. 75 pieces for, no price. I don't have the receipt handy. So anyway, if you like the idea of using these things, and I think it's a heck of an idea. I stole it from Kim Newberg. If you are wanting to wrap your shortest fibers and ribbons around these, it takes up so much less room than those spools that are half empty or have the large empty center. Well, what the heck? I just bought this today. Paid $1 for this. See how this... Honestly, this is what it would be like if I did a live. I just keep talking, reaching. So I will transfer each of these things onto its own stick, and it'll be easier to handle, easier to use than this this thing. So anyway, that was another detour. So anyway, back to this. So I was working on trying to catch up. Now, you know, it's been going on for over, well, more than half a year now. The whole idea here is that you use a die to, number one, determine what kind of a project you're going to do. Tag, envelope, pocket, blah, blah, blah. And then another roll of the die to figure out how many of these prompts you will use. So that's what I did. And I did week 26, which was a page. Okay, right there. So, I've written it here. So, no, I got a wild card, so I chose page, because I'm thinking I don't have that many actual pages. So, farm animal, sea theme, scissors, recipe, library card, and I had to pick a mixed media thing, and that was to color something with a crayon. So, we are going to pretend that this is a farm dog. Because when I looked through my animal pouch, I didn't have any farm animals in there. And I thought, oh, I don't want to have to go look at my farm thing. Well, as it turned out, I got cow in the next one. But anyway, so I really don't know anything about the sea, to be honest. But I thought those things obviously qualify. This was a cute little, one of those kind of homemade cookbooks that clubs or churches or schools or whatever used to do, maybe still do, where they get people to contribute recipes. It was Anita, somebody or other, contributed this one, typewritten. So I thought that was the perfect size. I had this kind of very short and damaged library card, so I used it. Had to dig through my sewing tote to find a pair of scissors. You know, that's one thing that this challenge has taught me, is that you can have a million images, but depending on the system of storage or organization or classification or separation or how the planets are aligned, and if you have your lucky green socks on, whether or not you can find what you need when you need it is really, it takes an act of God, really. I still, somewhere here, I still owe this book and the challenge an image of a mermaid. And then finally, I use my Caran d'Ache water-soluble crayon just to sort of add a bit of definition at the corners, because it was kind of white on white on white, and I just wet it with my brush and spread it a bit. There's a simplicity to it, but I like it because, the colors kind of all work together. I had a choice of other dogs, but he didn't fit. And I know you have to kind of use your imagination to imagine him as a cattle dog. So that was week 26. Then week 27, I imagine that's this one. Yeah, 27. So again, I got a wild card, and I chose to do a journal card. So my prompts were, can we tell from this? So it was favorite color, which I don't know that was necessarily a favorite color. This certainly is here. A cow, a sewing pattern, a charm, and a word. Well, we're going to call this a charm. This is just some packaging. It's very shiny. I had a heck of a time writing on it. But again, for the purposes of this book, I'm not concerned about that. I would have perhaps liked a different cow. But again, when I looked at them, it's, what's going to fit and all of that. So that's where I left that. Oh, and then week 28 was an envelope. So again, I didn't decorate the backside. If in fact this were to be used, it could be glued down on the page. And I stuck my little prompts in here. So I guess I got my flip of the die was envelope, and then the prompts were something red, chocolate, corrugated cardboard, tape, and something sewing related. So this was kind of a damaged button card, so I just sort of trimmed it so it would fit the shape of this pocket. There's old tape there. There was old tape attached holding this dictionary together. Here's another piece. This, I don't know where this came from, but it has been kicking around on my desk for so long. I've come so close to throwing it away several times, so I was glad to be able to use it in a couple of spots. I had a little fat cookbook here with small pages, so I just cut around this little chocolate, whatever it is. Strawberries are red. I added these buttons. These buttons were not on this card, but those are red, and that obviously is the sewing thing. And I'm throwing this away. I am at least, I'm done to week 28. Oh, and I had covered obviously the envelope with dictionary pages, and here just a couple of, and in case you were wondering, the grass is never greener. So I'm going to tuck that in there. I know I still have a few weeks to get caught up, but it just felt like, I'm sitting here watching the sale. I might as well try to catch up. I gave Caroline my word that I would do this, so I'm doing it. And I just wanted to take part in it. I do love doing the challenge. I just wish I could find some of my stuff a little more easily than I have been. I have gotten a lot of those zippered mesh pouches lately. I had a few before. I've gotten many more, and I have begun, don't have one within reach here. I've begun making fairly large labels and using a big Sharpie, big, bright, or big, large, clear label. So if I have a pouch on bees, we can see bees almost from across the room. Because, sometimes you see studio tours and you think, oh, everything is just so picture perfect. And I kind of, in my heart of hearts, I wonder, does anything ever get done in that pristine space? To me, time is becoming more, well, it probably has always been the most precious resource. And I don't want to be wasting any more time than I absolutely must looking for things. So I'm kind of revamping this bookcase closest to me and right next to my printer. I've got many of those pouches started, and as I find something, I just put, I'm refiling things all the time. So I'm going to be so organized, and this place is going to run like a well-oiled machine. You're not going to believe it. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. And I appreciate you being here. I haven't looked at my YouTube channel for a couple of days now. I'm doing this the long weekend in August. And actually, we had our grand dog Gertie here for a few days. And today I took her back, and like I said, we went to that sidewalk sale. I did score a few items, although I have to say the sale didn't look as good. It was certainly more comfortable temperature-wise than last year, which was stinking hot. But there seemed to be fewer vendors, and because it had rained during the night, I think that people they would have been setting up early this morning. I think people were leery about how much they should put out, how much of a display they should have, because, you know, if it starts raining, rain would ruin just, pretty well anything that you would have out there. So, yeah, it was a little different. I managed to score a few things. I was there with my daughter and her man, and, they were patient and so on, but honestly, it's not like going by yourself. And I think even if it's a fellow junk journaler, people shop differently. Some shop quicker than others. Some maybe have less physical stamina than others. If it's your home stomping grounds and you were just there last week, chances are you're not going to be the same as somebody. You're going to get through quicker than somebody who's never seen this store before in their life. So all of those factors play into it. I was glad that I got a few things. At one of the booths, there were these two young boys, and I said, "Is this your stuff, or are you just manning the booth?" Just manning the booth. I said, "So you're pretty excited to be here?" "I'm excited because I'm getting paid," says one of them. I says, "Well, whose stuff is this?" "Oh, my grandmother and grandfather's." So I have no idea if they knew what prices they were supposed to be charging or not, but I was happy with the deals I got, and they seemed to be happy too. So anyway, win. Anyway, thanks, guys. I started to say I haven't looked at YouTube. I know that wonder of wonders, will miracles never cease? Very close to the 1,000 subscriber mark. So now I had better get serious about seeing what state my prize journal is in, and kind of getting down to actually figuring out how I'm doing the giveaway. So I very much appreciate you, whether you're new, whether you're an original, whether you're I appreciate the fact that you hit the subscribe button, that many of you are doing, the likes. And I also very much appreciate the comments, because honestly, that's the only thing that makes this a two-way communication. I can talk till I'm blue in the face. I can talk till the cows come home. But if you don't talk back, if you don't say what's on your mind, if you don't ask a question or offer an opinion or reach out, then we don't get a sense of rapport. And frankly, I want that. And I think that many of you do too as well. So I know it's a pain. I know it takes an extra few seconds, particularly if you watch a lot of channels. I also know that if you, like me, are watching your videos on a smart TV, there is no way on earth to write a comment other than to, like what I do, a cheat sheet. Whose channel, make a few words of a note to myself. What would I, like if I were typing a comment now, what would I want to make note of? So number one, that means that next time I'm at my desk and at my laptop, I'm having to go to that channel, find the video, do the like, do the comment there. So yeah, there are a few extra steps, but I know how important comments are to me. I know how important they are to YouTube, and I know how important they are to fellow creators. So I do it for all those reasons. And because I have that understanding, I especially am grateful for those of you who are taking those extra steps to do that as well. So anyway, thanks for being here, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.